Stop! You can't do that.
The bad tree does bad things.
It's important.
Why? Why is it important? Why won't you help us?
Because I tried. With Christopher. I think you need to learn for yourselves. It's the only way you'll understand.
You look different now.
So do you.
All those years you look the same. Why are you changing now?
Everything's changing now.
Is that bad? I don't know what to do. You tell me how I can help them. Please. You're supposed to be my friend.
I am your friend.
And help me. Please. Please help me. Just tell me what to do.
Don't cut down that tree.
Where are you going? No, come back! Come back!
Hey, Vox, how are you?
Oh, hi. How are you?
Good. Vox, I love your name. Where's that? How'd you? Is there a meaning behind that name, or where'd that name come from?
Well, my dad came up with it. I was trying to remember. It's something to do because it's like voice in Latin. I remember him telling me this, but I don't really. He also likes the Beatles, and a lot of their guitars are recorded with a brand called Vox, the amplifiers.
Okay.
So it might be that. I remember him saying that. I don't know if that's actually why, though.
Yeah.
I think, I remember him telling me that. It's probably something like that.
What do you like for music?
Like my style of music?
Yeah. What do you find yourself listening to, whether you're in the house?
I like most things, but I like rock a lot and stuff like that.
Yeah. How hard is it being, a kid your age, right? And also having this like wonderful role on this show? What's that like? Only you would know, because I can never even imagine what that's like. I remember when I was your age, it was really hard just to go to school and do that, a whole life. And how is it for you? How do you manage it? How unique is it for you?
Well, I don't really have the school thing because I'm homeschooled.
Right.
I've been doing that ever since I started school because it's just more flexible with being an actor and stuff like that.
Of course, yeah, of course.
And we do the whole year in like 4 or 6 months, so it's just faster, So I don't really know what it's like for that, but I guess everything else, I don't know, it's pretty fun. I love it. I think the Blue and White's awesome.
But. Yeah, because you still have to do everything else the other kids do. You're just doing it at home. It's just a little different, but just the fact that you're on this show, and I don't know, it's to me it seems great. What do you like doing when you're away from the camera, when you have free time, like you're not working on acting? What do you like to do?
I like swimming a lot. I like to play the guitar. I like hanging out with my friends, playing games, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's usually what I do. Those are just like my hobbies.
That's awesome. Swimming is one of the hardest things. I love it.
When I say swimming, I'm not like a professional swimmer, but I just like swimming. I just find it so fun in the summer. It's just gets me outside and relaxing. But I'm not on a team or anything.
No, 100%. But we have a YMCA near us. When I go swimming, it just feels so good just to be in the water and swimming.
Yeah, right.
Getting the blood going. Yeah, it's great. I get it. So it's funny. Yesterday I had Doug Hughes, who plays the man in the yellow suit, and I was thinking because that's the polar opposite of the boy in white. I feel like the boy in white. Are you a Star Wars guy, Vox? Do you like Star Wars?
Not really. I've seen the first 2 movies.
Okay, so those people watching this interview, and it's not live, but when they do watch it, you are very much Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're a spirit ghost that could give people clues and hints, but you can never actually really help them because of, your situation in this place. But that's a compliment. That's a very cool thing to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. But getting to the other point, Doug's character, the man in the yellow suit, is very much evil and like Darth Vader and very. How do you like your character, Vox? What do you think makes your character special? I think he's a really underrated character. I think
so too, right?
Yeah, in this land of like horrible people and horrible things and horrible spirits, like he's the one breath of fresh air. He's the one, he's the one guy or the one kid that's actually good, right?
Yeah, well, I think he's just like he doesn't show up often, but like when he does, there's always something crazy going on, or there's always some major reason behind it. And I like that, like his intentions and stuff. It's kind of left up to the viewer, I guess. I don't even really know. They didn't tell me. I don't know anything about it really.
Yeah, yeah, but it's weird how he only appears to certain people. Like I think he's appeared to Boyd,
Yeah,
Tabitha. There's a handful of others, but it's weird.
Victor,
Yes, Victor, good one. Yeah, yeah.
Sarah,
Uh,
maybe. I don't know.
Sarah, yes, you're right. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah. But isn't it strange though? Because when Victor was there, we haven't seen this yet, or I don't think we'll ever see it. Maybe we will. But when everyone died and Victor was the only one left, the boy in white he kind of chilled with him and made sure he stayed with him, right? Like that's kind of that's amazing. That that's just an amazing character. Do they have a name for him, Vox, or is it just the boy in white?
Just the boy in white.
Yeah, he'll eventually get a name, right? You think?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll reveal that he used to be like a kid in like a past life and he had a name or something. I don't know.
What's your favorite thing that your character has done so far?
I mean, there's the whole thing with Tabitha and the whole thing with Boyd and the worms and how I brought him to that place.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think
Yeah.
I think the faraway tree and then how Boyd ended up and the chimney and then he had the worms and he killed Smiley with the worms. I think
Yeah.
that's my favorite thing I've done because it kind of snowballed into a whole thing.
Yeah, that's kind of underrated. You're right. I almost forgot about that moment. That's a really cool moment. Speaking of the faraway tree, why do you think he prevents? If you had to guess, I know you are not like no one gets the plot in advance, but why do
Yeah.
you think? Why do you think your character stops Victor from wanting to chop down the faraway tree?
Well, I mean, I think it's just I think it has just some sort of importance. I mean, he even says it that the tree's
Yeah.
important and to not do that.
Yeah.
I think it's just I think the tree just has some bigger meaning and it's going to be important later on.
Yeah,
He's
I agree.
protecting it.
I agree. Why does he protect people, you think? Do you think something bad has happened to the boy in white at one point? Because he definitely is like a guardian angel. Like you just mentioned one thing. I can name probably 4 or 5 others where this, like you say, when he speaks, people better be listening because he doesn't just waste his words, right? When he speaks, he's doing it to let people know, like, hey, you're in danger, right?
Right. Yeah.
Do you feel like your character so you're almost a guarantee for season 4 now, right? There's no way they cannot bring you back,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I can't see a world where in the 4th season he doesn't show up and something major happens.
Yeah. Because like unless they age him so much, like, hey, we have to convince them, hey, so let's slow down with this aging thing. Like, let's maybe approach it again in a few seasons because right now he's at the perfect age. Let's not change actors or anything. It's perfect, right, Vox? We don't need to be changing actors for the boy in white.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
I mean, I've grown a lot because, like, in the first season, I was like, I'm 14 now, and I think in the first season I was like maybe 10.
Yeah.
I think maybe I was 11. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, but that's a from going to 10 to 14. That's a big change. Like that's a huge change in your life. Another great scene with your character is with Victor. Speaking of change, when they talk to each other about how I'm paraphrasing here, but how they both changed a lot. Like he didn't say it. Do you remember the scene I'm talking about, Vox? Like where they look at each other and he says, like, I don't recognize you, or you've gotten older. Do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about?
When he was cutting down the tree, right? That little like moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how did that exchange go exactly? It was something to the effect of, I don't. We both have changed, or that was the sentiment I took.
It was something like he sees like you look different now, and he's like, "Why are you changing now?" And I was like, "Everything's changing," or something like that.
Yeah, it's a big moment though. Like something's happening. Like it's a huge moment.
Well, it is, right? Because we both changed. Because in the first season, when he's walking with the dogs, he was so young, right? And now he's like an old man.
I think they're best, Vox. I think they're best friends, Victor and the boy in white.
Yeah.
I think they're good friends, and it's a really nice thing to see. Let me ask you this: if you had to guess,
Mhm.
when he pushes Tabitha out, which was this is the way season 2 ended, right? My memory's good.
Mhm.
He pushes Tabitha out the window, says, "I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. This is the only way." So he clearly wants her to see something, which I think
Yeah.
might be related to Victor's father, which brings her
Yeah.
to a which brings her to a place wherever that was. Like we thought she got out, but I think she was just probably in another version of From. What do you think, Vox?
Well, when he says this is the only way, I think I actually, I thought about this a lot, and I think you're right. I think I pushed her out so she could meet Victor's dad. I think it was all for a reason.
Yeah.
I think it's all connected. I don't think it was a coincidence that she ended up meeting with the dad and all that stuff happened. I think I did that on purpose. I think like somehow he just like knows. Like I think I just knew that they were gonna meet up or somehow. And then like the hallucinations in the street with
Yeah.
one light too. That I don't know.
Because From is filled with so many not bad characters, bad like deities and
Mhm.
spirits. Like people like are cautious of saying the boy in white is good, right? They're very like every time they say something's really good, it ends up not being great, right? But I think, honestly, I don't want to sound repetitive, but I think the boy in white is one of the very few good. Like he's trying. I do believe he's trying to save these people from the monsters, right? I think.
I think so too. But there's also a part of me that thinks maybe maybe he's trying to gain their trust or something over time to eventually betray Victor and or something. Like maybe it's all part of a larger plan that he has in mind, or maybe he is just there's just so many ways it could go.
Vox, if that happens, I'm gonna cut out my heart and stomp on it on the floor. I will. I will be so sad. Like if he betrays everybody after being like this like beam of kindness, like I don't know what I will do. I would be just shocked if he does that. But you're
I
right.
know, me too, but
From is so crazy, it could happen. Like that's
yeah.
yeah. You're right. It's such a doable thing. But do you hope that's the way it goes, or do you want it to be? Do you want him to go down the road of just being this really good kind of force?
I think I want it to be kind because there's not not a lot of good happens in that town. So I think it's nice to have someone who's kind of just like a breath of fresh air. He's trying to help out, or at least I think he's trying to help out. That's my take on it. I hope he is.
Yeah, because characters like this and like when you see kids like that are dressed up like this in other horror movies, they're always terrible. They're always bad. They're always like this demonic force, right? But From has kind of flipped the script a little bit on this, which is original. But you must love playing him. Like it's such a great part to have, right?
I think it's great. I don't know, he doesn't show up a lot, but it's just when he does, it's always something major. It's just I think it's really cool to play a character like that where whenever I show up, it's always impacting the story in one way, or it's always leading up to something important.
Yeah. What part of you watched the season finale, right?
Mhm.
Uh, give me a part or two that absolutely stunned you, that you were absolutely blown away by, that you were like, oh my god.
Well, um, poor Jim. I didn't
Yeah.
expect that at all. I don't
Uh,
think that's a pretty lethal splash. I don't
yeah.
think he's gonna make it out of there. And Julie with the whole time traveling thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's
She's
kind of
terrific.
insane.
Yeah. 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 Those two, and then the reincarnation. I
The
think Jim.
smiley.
Yeah, I think Jim had the worst. Like he finds out that she had a child in another like life. Then he like is trying to figure that out. Then he meets the guy in the yellow suit. It's like Jesus, poor guy. Like,
Is there a
Julie.
name for the guy in the yellow suit, or is he just
No, he's like
no?
your character. It's just like the boy in white. But I think next season, I think we're going to see things like I don't think you're just the boy in white. Like there's a story behind you, and I don't think there's. I think the man in the yellow suit has a story behind him. I think it's going to be a terrifying story. But I
I
think,
think so too.
yeah, I think for now, I think those are the. I mean, I'm always wrong, so don't listen to me. But yeah, it happens. Who are you closest to on set?
Ooh, I'm just trying to think.
Maybe not closest, but like most, like maybe the people you have the most scenes with, so you naturally end up gravitating to them. whoever. It doesn't mean they're your favorite person. It just means a person that you're
Right.
you're close to.
I mean, I think Victor's really nice
Yeah.
because I'm just trying to think because I'm trying to remember it was him and Julie that came out the window, right, in like season 1 or 2, and then I was standing there, right?
Correct.
I'm pretty sure on that day I never like had a talk with Victor, but in the episode 9 when he's cutting down the tree after we filmed that scene, I got to talk to him and kind of I think meet him for the first time, unless I already did on that episode on that day. But he was really sweet. He's an amazing guy.
Yeah, Scott seems like a really nice guy. Like I think by far, when you talk about favorite characters for the fans, I think he is easily the fans' favorite. Like he is the
right. He's such a great actor too.
Yeah, he is a great musician. And it's just that's this cast. Like, and you're great too. Like it's just it's really nice. I have a few more questions, and thank you, Vox, for giving me some of your night. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So the other thing I want to ask you is how old is your character, you think? I know your age, not that. How old do you think he is, if you had to guess? 60, 70?
Right, yeah, because this could be it could be, like, he could look how old he is, which I'd say he's probably around, like, 13 or whatever, but it could be one of the scenarios where maybe, like, he's been in this town forever and he's, like, 200 years old. Like, you just don't know.
Yeah,
There's many ways to go about it. You know what? I think he's higher up there, though. I just think
even older. Yeah.
I think he's older because I think he's been around. Well, obviously he has to be somewhat older because he met Victor when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And Victor's obviously not a kid anymore. I don't know how old he is in the show, but he
could be triple digits. He could be 100 plus, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been around a lot. Yeah.
I think he could maybe be like. I think. I'm just trying to think of how long the town's been around. Maybe like 200. In that sort of range ish. Maybe 150.
Maybe. Who's a character that you love watching on screen? Is there one that you're like, wow, that's amazing?
Oh man. I mean, you can't go wrong with Boyd, right?
Yeah,
he's amazing. He's awesome.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of it's so impossible to pick like a favorite for me, but like Kenny is so good too. There's
Kenny, yeah. I feel like that's more of an underrated pick.
Yeah, underrated. Yeah, he's great. I think a lot of people don't like, Vox. A lot of people don't like is Acosta. I think people hate her.
Well, from what we've seen of her, she seems kind of like a brat. Like,
yeah, she's like she got there and she's like, I need to know answers. And like, what do you think these people who have been here for like 4, 5, 10 years? You don't think they want answers?
Tried?
Yeah, she's shooting up the town. Like, what are you doing? And,
she shot Nikki. I think it is.
Yeah, Nikki. And then Pega starts putting her finger in the but it's I don't know. I just feel like there's characters that fans love, and there's characters that fans like. Just she is getting under people's skin, but that's the great thing about From. There's so many people that why do you think there's some people that can't see him? Is it that he doesn't view them as like savable? That maybe like seeing somebody that doesn't exist would freak them out?
I think that's a really hard question to answer. I haven't really thought about that, but I mean, it might be like some sort of like maybe it has some sort of connection with like the bottle tree, or maybe it's like I feel like it's connected to something in the town, or yeah, I don't know. Like that's hard.
Do you think he appears to those who need it most? Like so Tabitha is going through some stuff, and Victor's been going through, you know how he's kind of always had a soft spot for Victor, right? Spending time when everybody dies in the town, Absolutely. He sits with them, so maybe it's who he perceives can like use his help the most, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it, right?
Yeah.
Because with Boyd and Sarah, it was turning nighttime and they weren't going to make it back, and then I helped them get into the faraway issue. They definitely needed help in that moment.
Yeah, for sure. What did you think of Cliff going through the faraway tree and ending up in the pool wall?
Well, I think that was pretty unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, when I first saw that, my first reaction is like, holy, like that could have been Tabitha.
That's right. Right.
It totally could have, right? And I think, I don't know. I also feel a bit bad because he he wanted to get out of the town, and he was kind of like, like, you guys are just gonna sit around. I'm gonna be the one to get out. And then he goes through the tree, and he just ends up in the pool. Like, that is really
It's
unfortunate.
crazy. It's crazy. The other thing I want to ask you was, how does the boy in white, how does he avoid the monsters? How do they not stop him in the day and the night? He avoids them completely, and like you said, even helps
Yeah.
destroy them. Like, even gives how's that happen? How do you think it happens? Because he seems to be work around the worst of the worst and from.
Well, I mean, I think he's just like some sort of like entity. Like, I don't even know if he's killable. Like, maybe he isn't killable, or maybe he's been around for so long and the monsters kind of see him as some sort of like a friend, or maybe like, well, yeah, that's a good question. I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
I've always just overlooked that.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever have to pinch yourself when you realize you have a great role on one of the best shows on television? Has that ever hit home for you? Especially at like 14, which is amazing.
Right. I mean, yeah, it is an incredible role. I don't watch a whole lot of TV, and I don't know if it's biased, but I really love From. It's just right up my alley. I love those sort of mystery, sort of like psychological sort of shows.
Yeah.
From, to me, one of my favorite shows ever. I think even if I wasn't in it, it's just so like well written. It's just like, I think it's incredible.
Yeah, the fans, I gotta tell you, are so amazing. Like I've been putting out episodes, and they've been so supportive. Like I mean, obviously you have those people that aren't kind. That's with anything, but the kindness in this group, the people that support the actors, and like the people putting like episodes out, like I am, they are very good. Like, they're very kind, and like they could be jerks. I mess up facts all the time, and they're good about it. Like, there was spoilers that I accidentally gave away. Like, I didn't mean to, but like I get the screeners a little bit ahead of time, and the way that people dealt with it, they were very kind to me, and they're kind to. It's a good fan base. Vox is what I'm saying. So what do you do when you're away from the show, right? So you do your homeschooling and the other hobbies. What does your day look like? So you're done filming until they tell you, okay, we're ready to go again, and you're back to being in normal kid world, right?
Right. Yeah. And usually when I get home, I have an older sister. I have 3 dogs and a cat, so I usually get home, say hi to my pets, hang out with my friends and stuff. It's just like a normal kid, really.
Yeah, yeah. I wish there was dogs in From. There's no dogs, are there? There's no pets or anything like that, which is weird. You just got me thinking.
I have a dog.
Yeah.
Remember
there's a dog in. Am I wrong?
When they're all dead on the ground, there was the dog like eating the corpses, and I
Oh yeah. What am I saying?
Dog.
See, I get facts wrong all the time. There's what I got wrong. What's your sister say about your role? Which does she like? She proud of you? She make fun of you? Does she like act like a big sister does? Like, what?
I mean, she never really said anything about it, but I'm sure she's probably happy for me. I'd assume.
Of course, yeah. How about your friends? Are they happy for you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And yeah, so that's awesome. And my last question: how long do you shoot for at a time? Is it depend on the season? Because the last time we saw you, it was I think when you pushed her out of the lighthouse, but there was a little bit of a gap before the last time we saw you before that. But like this season, we see you, multiple times. So is it just dependent on the script that season? How's that work?
Yeah, it really depends on the scene. Like the lighthouse one took a while because I pushed out the window, and then when we went to go reset the scene, they had to put another like pane in, and it takes like almost an hour to like get it in there and like make sure it's all set up properly. So that took a while.
They had to do 2 takes. Did do 2 takes on that?
Yeah, we did 2.
So all right, so Vox, this will be the last thing I ask you. How's that work, right? So is she actually there, or is that a stunt person when they cut away?
It's a stunt person.
Catalina didn't want to go through a window?
I just don't know if they like. I don't know.
By the way,
maybe they just. I don't know if it's that or if it's more of just like they don't want her to get hurt. So
of course, it's definitely they're smart to do that. I was just kidding. Yeah. But how fun was it shooting that scene with a stunt person? Like how?
Man, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Pushing her through the window, it was really fun.
Do they tell you to push hard, or is it more of the stunt person just backing up.
It's more the stunt person just like falling backwards. It's just like a light little shove.
How far is the drop off to the mat below? Like, is it like what, a couple feet? Is it like just right
Yeah,
there?
it's like a couple feet. They had like a little like I don't know what the name of the machine is, but it was like holding up the mat, sort of like this.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's super safe. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
And the window is like candy glass. It's not real glass. It's not like sharp or anything.
Oh yeah, breakaway glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. That's a fun scene to shoot. Yeah, you're doing a great job. Like, it's just I love your character. I think the fact that he is the good force here, I think, and you got to watch Star Wars, my man. I think you would love Star Wars.
My dad's a huge Star Wars fan.
Yes, tell him the guy that interviews you today said that your character is like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he'll understand.
Good. I've heard the name Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I don't really know what he does.
Yeah, he was Luke Skywalker. Well, he teaches Luke Skywalker, but then he comes back as what they call a Force ghost, where he just kind of gives Luke advice. Yoda does the same thing, but I think that's a good guy. Good guy, real good guy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and he gives guidance, even though he's not like your character physically there. You know, he's kind of.
Oh yeah, that is similar then.
Very similar. Like you are very similar to what they call a Force ghost, and you are very similar to Obi-Wan's Force ghost.
So yeah, and I mean it's funny because it's called a Force ghost, and I'm sort of like a ghost sort of like entity sort of thing too.
You're a from ghost, and
yeah, I'm
a Force ghost. Exactly. So that's great, man. Yeah. So hey, enjoy being a kid, man, because you're doing a great job, and you have the best of both worlds. You get to be around your family, then you get to go shoot this great show. Sounds like you're living a great life. Just continue and enjoy being a kid. It was fun talking to you, Vox. You have a great future in acting, and I'm excited to see where you go with it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.